Which is more important, your job or you? This is for Black women in toxic jobs. If you're in a situation where your job is causing you harm to the point where you're experiencing physical and or psychological symptoms, I invite you to listen to this video and really reflect on what's more important. What are you prioritizing in your life? So when we're in a toxic job, and I'm speaking from experience as a toxic job survivor, sometimes when we're in a toxic job, we can get into this mode of thinking of, they're not going to run me out of here. I got this. I'm not going to let them win, all these other things. And so I want you to think, if you are in that situation and you have that perspective of, I'm not going to let them run me out of here or anything like that, I invite you to think about, what are you prioritizing? Are you prioritizing the job, or are you prioritizing your health? So if you don't know me already, I'm Dr. Kamani. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, a toxic job survivor, and more importantly, I'm a toxic job liberator for Black women. So I wanted to have this conversation because recently I've had conversations with two Black women who are still working at the toxic job that I previously resigned from. And these conversations were heartbreaking to hear about the continued trauma that they're experiencing in the workplace, and that they've experienced some very serious health issues, which are connected to stress. So I invite you to think about this, right? So as I was thinking about and talking to these Black women who are still at my former employer, they're still working there, and their perspective was of staying, that they wanted to stay to ensure that they were going to get more out of retirement when they eventually retired. And the perspective of, they had worked so hard and the job was not going to run them out of there. And again, I invite you, as you're watching this video, for you to think about, what are you prioritizing? And I'm just going to reflect on my own experiences in a toxic job, because I was like those women. I was like those Black women who would say, they're not going to run me out. I'm dedicated to the work. I'm not weak. I used to say all those things to myself, to the point I was experiencing a lot of physical and psychological symptoms, but I kept going. And you may keep going as well. And I want you to just think about this. As you're fighting, as you're doing these things, you're compromising your physical and or psychological health, and thinking to yourself and reflecting, is it worth it? Because you can do all this fighting and showing them and proving them, all these other things, but it comes at a cost to you. And think about, what is that cost? What is the cost to you? What is the cost to your family? And is it worth it? So when we think about jobs are a way to make money. We all need to have money. Is there another possible way for us to make money? Is that job the only place where we can make money? So I can probably say that no, there are other places for you to make money, but you may have something else tied to that job. Maybe your identity is tied to that job. Maybe you define yourself in terms of your job duties. Maybe you feel a sense of fear, about, if you leave the job, what would happen in terms of financially supporting yourself. So if you have any of those concerns about, your job has become all consuming, you have these overwhelming fears about what might happen if you leave that toxic job. I recently had a conversation with a woman who previously participated in my masterclass, and she was talking about previously having a poverty mindset, in the sense that she was thinking that there would be no other way for her to make money, even though she had previous jobs and had all this experience. So this may be for you as well. You may have a poverty mindset and you may catastrophize. Marissa Price did a really good video talking about catastrophizing. I'll put that in the description section as well. So that might be something that you do. You can start catastrophizing about the worst case scenario. What if, okay? We can all get in that pattern, and that pattern can keep you at a toxic job. So again, I want to invite you to think about, what is the priority? If you're in a toxic job and it is harming you physically and or psychologically, I invite you to think about, What are you prioritizing? Are you prioritizing trying to prove something to somebody at the job or people at the job that they can't do certain things to you? And is that worth it? Is that what's most important? Or is your health more important? And it may be that cut and dry, really, in terms of where does your priority lie? Does your priority lie in terms of proving things at a toxic job? Or is your priority having a healthy, fulfilling life? And sometimes we might even think, because of our own social programming, that all jobs are like that, and I should just accept it because all jobs are like that. They're not. And so I want to share with you about different options. One of the options is the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women, which is coming up May 18th and 19th. So if you have those fears I talked about, if you have that mindset of, the job is the only place where I can make money, we're going to challenge that, because that's not true. And we're going to talk about different options for you to make money. Now, that mindset that I talked about earlier, where you're thinking, I got to fight, I got to stay here, I got to do all those other things. Sometimes we can be our biggest obstacles to doing what we need to do for ourselves. So if you recognize that that is you're saying these things to yourself, the Job Summit is a place for you to work through that stuff, because we need to connect to what are the barriers to you moving forward and removing the toxins, toxic job, removing the toxins out of your life so you can live a healthier life. So again, the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women, May 18th and 19th. You may come in with the perspective that I talked about in the beginning. You may be coming in with, this job is not going to run me out of here. I'm going to show them, all those things. And I'm sharing this with you because I was there. And I thought that, and I fought and I fought and I fought. But guess what? I was the biggest loser because the game was rigged against me. The system was toxic. And at your job, more than likely, it is a toxic system. So when you get in this mindset of, I'm going to fight, I'm going to fight, you have to think about, are you prioritizing the job over you? And I hope, sis, that you choose you every time. Okay. There are options for you. And one option is attending the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women, May 18th and 19th. And we have a host of outstanding speakers. We are going to kick it off with Stephanie Perry talking about job detox. We're going to also include Alicia Renese talking about reconnecting to your dreams and your joy. And then we're also going to talk about the practical in terms of, how do you replace your income? What are some options for you so that you will have money? You will be able to survive and do well financially. So you will be coming in certain kind of way, maybe broke down, beat down by the toxic job. You will be leaving encouraged, and you will be leaving with a plan based upon your timeline of when you want to leave that toxic job. Okay. So again, the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women, May 18th and 19th. Early registration is happening right now. So if you want to save some money, then get early registration now. Okay. So there's different tiers in terms of your registration. So you can choose which tier you would like. So that's all in the link that you see on the screen, as well in the description section. And I want to emphasize this before I sign off, that your attendance in the Job Liberation Virtual Summit, no one will know you're there. So the way it's set up, the platform, none of the participants will be seen on camera. Your name will not be listed, because we know as Black women, we have to many times walk in silence and privacy and all the other kind of stuff, because people might not have our best intentions in mind, right? So again, no one will know you're at the virtual summit. If there's a question or comment that you have, you can change your name in the platform so that no one will know. So I don't want you to have your concerns about people finding out you're in the virtual summit prevent you from accessing this information. So on my YouTube channel, I talk a lot. I share a lot of information. I share with you about the healing journeys of different Black women. I am very intentional also about sharing with you about how to get out. So Marissa Price and I are co-hosting this virtual summit Again, the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women, May 18th and 19th. Early registration is going on now until April 20th. So get your ticket. Again, the information is right here on the screen, and it's also in the description section. And also, please share this information with at least 2 other Black women. So share this video with her, share with her about the virtual summit, because we're trying to liberate as many Black women as we can, that you can leave that job. You can find something else. You can go to another job, and or you can have a side hustle. You can create your own business. So there are options available for you. I don't want for you to feel like you're stuck. I don't want you to feel like you're alone. I don't want you to feel those things that I felt when I was in the middle of a toxic job. I want you to have a very different experience and know there's Black women who have gone through this journey, and we're on the other side, and we're reaching for you to help support you as you're walking this journey as well. So I'm signing off. Please give this video a thumbs up because it lets YouTube know to suggest this video to other Black women in similar situations. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And please share this video with at least 2 other Black women. Okay? So I'm signing off, and I hope that you will be in the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.